me being empathetic caused me to stay in that situation longer than I actually should have been stayed in that situation. Just because like I get where you coming from, and I understand where you coming from, but we also like might be coming from two completely different perspectives, and you might not be wrong in your perspective. I might not be wrong in my perspective. It's just different.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sad Boy Radio. I'm your host, Matt, and today we got a very special guest in the building. Man, he's a member of HL. He just got announced to, man, you're basically headlining that show at Avondale Music Hall.
It's super headliner, but I'm right before him.
Just released a song with Femdot and OG Stevo. You're going crazy, man.
What up? My name is Sonny, by the way.
Yeah, introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are.
Yeah, my name is Sonny from out south. Greater Grand Crossing, to be specific, 23-year-old rapper from the city.
That's it? That's all you got for the people?
Fortune House, HL, Monster Way and No Way. Yeah.
They're about to learn enough, right?
I ain't want to say too much because I ain't know what you had lined up for me.
Man, first I want to, open up with the fact that you got one of the hottest artists in Chicago right now in OG Stevo on the same track as fucking a beast, Femdot. Like, go ahead and talk about that process real quick.
I had made the song, and then I sent it to both of them because I fuck with both of them. I'm just like, yo, I think both of y'all would go crazy out here. And then I slid on Stevo when he recorded his verse, sent it out to Film. He sent the vocals back. My homie Nate mixed it down. It was yeah, we had a song. Shout out both of them. Them the homies for they both going crazy. I don't even know when the fuck I met Fam. I met Stevo one day. First time I met him I met him through Eric Montanez. Shout out Eric.
Is that like Elliot's brother or some shit?
Yeah.
I mean, for you being able to secure a song like that, right? You've been doing this music shit for a long time, since 2016. You were doing poetry even before that. Seeing how far you've come into the journey to be able to, lock in with somebody like Femdot, right? What did that moment mean for you?
See, I kick it with Fam. Like, I'll see bro at a function, like a family function, just some shit like that, just like we're just friends or family, shit like that. We just chop it up. And then he'd be like, send me some shit. I'd be like, all right, bet. So it was cool to finally, because we have another song in the tuck from a while ago that I just ain't never do nothing with. So I just hit him. So to finally get one out, it's cool. It's raw because I'm before, like, I met bro, I was a fan of his music type thing. So I acknowledge that bro was like probably one of the rawest lyricists in the city type shit. And like, it's just feel raw. It's just raw that we have like a raw song together that people can also enjoy.
It's crazy when you're able to lock in with people that you looked up to. Being able to sit back and now I got something of that you can like almost hold, right? You can't hold a song, but you can actually like see it in person and be like, damn, like we did this, not just they did this type thing. You've been doing music since 2016. Been doing poetry for way longer than that.
I started doing poetry when I was like 14, 13 type thing, and I got kind of decent by the time I was 15. And after that, I was like, I'm gonna just fuck around with the music shit for a little bit. I was weak as hell at first, but I just kept going until I found my pocket, found my little pocket. Kept trying stuff, and eventually we get to where I'm at now.
What are some of the differences you've seen between making music and writing poetry?
Writing poetry, at least, is just strictly writing. When I would be writing, I wouldn't be thinking about no beat. I'm really just thinking about my cadence and how how I'm coming across with my voice and like my words specifically. You feel me? I'm not really thinking about no beat and making nothing like that. I'm just thinking about like the impact of what I'm saying and how it's gonna come across and how it's gonna feel to you when I say it type thing, as opposed to making music where I'm thinking about like, all right, how is this gonna sound? How is this gonna feel? Like on top, like same things that I'm worrying about with the poetry or like I'm considering in writing poetry. I'm now thinking about that on top of like the actual like music of things type thing, like making sure like things are arranged properly, mixed and mastered properly, that kind of stuff like that. So it's not like too much of a thing. I feel like for me, if anything, it kind of made me a little bit more focused on having a decent pen type thing or having a good pen game type thing. So I just look at it like that. So I just think it might have like gave me a little bit of an edge in terms of like writing music.
I would think that like starting from poetry, you would be more focused on the words.
Because I was still in high school and I'm still young, I'm still tweaking with my homies, making music for fun, stuff like that. And I feel like that's kind of like the beauty of music too. It's like capturing the energy like capturing the energy of certain things, and then when I work on projects and stuff like that, that's when I'll release like certain songs where you kind of hear me go a little bit more in depth about things and stuff like that. That's where that would come out a little bit more for me, because I still am very intentional with like the words I say, especially now, like as I'm getting older and stuff like that, because your words hold a lot of power, and I want to be able to like accurately and truthfully like convey everything I'm trying to convey.
What role has music played in your life?
Music done saved my life, bro. Like on some real, like, bro, at this point for real, cause like I'm already know about like the whole viral Kill Bill shit, that kind of shit. I made that song when I was I made that song. I had to be 18 when I made that song, because it came out when I was still 19, and bro, I was in my room in my mama crib. I think I was pissed off. I was just making a song because that was just like my form of expression. I'm just going crazy on the mic, woo this, woo that. Make the song, have it, put it out as a single first. It did at the time. I know it did good at the time. At the time, get to like a couple thousand plays type thing. Dropped the project it was on, kept it at that, moved on, and then out of nowhere, I'm broke as fuck one day. Song go viral. I'm just like, and keep in mind, I ain't, at this point where it's going viral, I'm not doing no push or nothing like that. It just randomly started going up because someone sped it up, woo this, woo that. And I'm just like seeing like this go up, and then I see my first like my little distro kid come in for like the for the streams stuff like that. I'm like, damn, this is decent as hell. Come on. Like on that end of things, but also music has also like opened my eyes to a lot of like it's a different perspectives and shit like that. Different way I've like in hearing music and like that kind of shit. Like you hear a lot of people's like perspectives on the world, stuff like that. Especially when you locking in with somebody to make a song, you have these kind of conversations. You just meet a lot of people, stuff like that. So I definitely say music not only changed like my life in like that kind of scheme, but also in just my perspective of things too.
What's one of those important conversations that you've had?
I was cooking up with Thelonious Martin when I was making like this project Golden Child. We made the song called St. Mark. Right, that's what the song that came about. And at the time I'm like I said like 18, maybe 19, and I'm still trying to like figure out, how I'm coming with like the music end of things, and like as far as like how I'm gonna present myself to the world type shit. And Thelonious just said something to me. He was like the best songs are just always about something. And like I just took that and I was just like, you're right. Whether like it don't gotta be about nothing like super deep, but they always gonna be about something, you feel me? Whether it's about like some bullshit, not even bullshit, whether it's about some like about turning up with your homies or whatever, whether it's about your inner monologue or whatever it's about, whether it's about your homie dying, whether it's about whatever's going on in your life, the best songs are always about something. So I always like that's a conversation I just always remember. Like I just had something to take away from because I felt like before then I was kind of like a little bit all over the place with my writing, like cause I got ADHD like a motherfucker. It'd be hard for me to stay on one thing sometimes. So I'll write and then next body used to be just on some like completely different end of the spectrum type thing. So it definitely like at that after he said that to me, I definitely started like getting a little bit more focused when I'm writing type thing, just like making sure I'm like staying like not I don't want to say staying linear in like my verses type thing, but making sure I'm staying like on point and like being like getting the message I'm trying to get across.
Making sure that you're actually talking about something of substance, right?
Like I said, not even like of the deepest nature type thing, because sometimes you just want to make a song for the whatever purpose, like just good vibes type thing. But at the same time, like the more impactful songs are always gonna have some. They're always gonna be about something. You feel me?
The whole concept of being able to take lyrics from a song and applying it to your life, that's something that everybody can relate to.
Hell yeah.
So then Golden Child, that was the song you guys were making.
St. Mark, Golden Child is the project.
What was St. Mark about then?
St. Mark was just about growing up. Cause St. Mark is the church I used to go to growing up. High key, nah. This was before Golden Child. St. Mark was after Golden Child. We didn't even. He just sent me that loop, and Sheriff finished the beat. I'm thinking about this song we made called Lessons. We made this song called Lessons, and I was writing my verse. He heard what I had, and then I reshaped the verse, and that was off this project called Good Luck. Back before, whoa, damn, I forgot about that.
Was that before you went by Sonny or Hate Sonny?
I was Hey Sonny back then, but I was just ain't nobody know me for real. outside of like the people who did, like on SoundCloud and stuff like that.
Cause you got an EP out there where you're under a different name, don't you?
Under a different name?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we don't speak on that. We don't speak on that. We don't speak on
All
that.
right, I just want to make sure I'm not sounding dumb out here.
That exists and needs to not exist no more. I'm gonna go handle that. But that was like some of the first shit I've ever even tried to make type shit. But this was good luck. This was the second tape I had put out when I was like fresh out of high school type thing, going into community college and shit. And the song like I was referring to was called Lessons, and that was about losing one of my closest homies when I was younger type thing.
Why was that what came to mind when Thelonious told you to make something?
Cause I was already writing about it and I was still dealing with it. You feel me? Like kind of like coming to terms with it. Because like it was one of my one of my childhood best friends, like my first friends type thing. Like we grew up together, grew up in my granny crib together type thing on the same block. All of our families is intertwined, that kind of thing. And then we both at the time when he passed away, we was like we was still real close. That was like my big brother. But we was kind of like dealing with different things. We wasn't really checking in with each other as much. You feel me? So then when he passed, I was in the car on the way. I was 17 on the way to get a job, and my uncle had called. He's like Korshawn. He said Korshawn dead, and I was just like, what you mean? You feel me? And I was 17 when that happened. Still kind of like dealing with it. Cause like I said, that was like my big brother type thing. I learned a lot from him growing up, so I made a song about everything I had learned from him, just growing up and stuff like that. But it wasn't like I listened back to it, and the sentiment behind the song was good. Everything I was saying was true. Everything like I still feel it to this day. But I took it down because I was like I want to make a better song to like commemorate folks' memory. You feel me?
So what was it you learned from him?
You know, we both grew up in like what motherfuckers call the hood. We grew up in the hood together, type shit. And, you know, his background, my background a little different, you feel me? So he was a little bit more involved in certain shit, you feel me? He would always let me know, like, yo, I know you're gonna do what you're gonna do, this or that, but certain shit, if you got the choice not to get involved in it, don't do it. And don't do it because nobody else trying to convince you to do it because you feel the pressure to do that shit. He told me on some, like, stay under your 10, always, like, do what you know you're supposed to be doing type shit, you feel me? When I was 8, we listened to the Bone Thugs and Harmony outside my granny crib, and I tell him I want to rap. And he's like, you should do that shit, bro. You should do that shit, bro. Ooh, this, ooh, that. And I always remembered that. So it's little shit like, it's just like little shit like that, you feel me? Like just day-to-day lessons you just learn from someone just in being that close with them.
And just carrying that with you, right? You carry those memories even with somebody, and I don't want to, take away from the fact that he's not here, and I'm sorry for that loss, but even people that you just don't talk to anymore, people that you don't have any communication with anymore, you have those memories with them still and those lessons that they taught you, right?
You fall out with the motherfucker, you gonna learn something from it, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
It's so many lessons I done learned throughout my life from like different situations, different people and shit like that. As long as I'm learning something and I have something to take away from it, it's just like, that's life. You gotta just, you don't take what you learned and just move accordingly type thing. Cause like I said, like I learned a lot of like really valuable lessons on how to like maneuver through just being out here and stay alive from, bro. You feel me? And I've learned a lot about like just nurturing relationships and like how to move certain ways in relationships with people from falling out with people. You feel me? Like you always got to just kind of be a sponge in that regard. Always be willing to learn because at any given moment you don't know everything.
I mean, a lot of the times it comes with ego, right? People don't want to learn from each other because we think we know everything or we think that we have the answers, and I don't need to learn.
A situation might arise, you don't know how to handle it. You feel me? Until you face with the situation, now you got to learn how to handle these types of situations. You feel me? Like some shit you ain't never dealt with, one day you might have to deal with it, and you ain't never dealt with it before. You don't know how to handle it. In that situation, if you don't learn how to deal with it, it might go bad for you. You feel me? If you don't immediately just like adapt and just be willing to learn, or just be willing to just like really just take notice at least of what's going on, and like you feel me? You just gotta just be able. You just gotta, like I said, kind of remove your ego from certain situations and just like really just understand certain situations get put in your life from you to learn from them. You feel me?
Yeah, but let's take it back to the music fact, right? You were able to learn from Thelonious that the best music comes from a situation, and for you, you've mentioned that you're big on self-expression. In the song "Trynna Heal," you say, "Know all the mistakes I made just made me the man I am. Always come through, try to play my part. Just trying to do everything I can for me, my fam, My gang, my kin.
It's funny always hearing your lyrics read back to you like that. But no bet like that's really my whole prerogative in my day-to-day life is just trying to like do right by myself, do right by everybody I call a loved one, you feel me? And just, try to like provide for like my family because they provided for me, you feel me? Stuff like that. Provide for the people who looked after me when I was in fucked up situations and stuff like that. I done made like a lot of fucked up mistakes in my life type shit. Not like no crazy fuck shit, but you feel me? I don't burn my bridges like everybody else has, you feel me? And like in them you just kinda gotta learn.
What do you feel like was one of the most important mistakes you made that was crucial to your development?
The reason I kinda am the way I am with my friends, I don't be trying to do I don't be getting into like petty disputes with my friends. That's not something I do. I had a homie a while ago who also passed away, and we was real close, and folks passed away while we was on bad terms. You feel me? And it was my fault we was on bad terms. I think what the fuck I do? I think I just I said some disrespectful shit, type shit. Folks ain't like that shit. We ain't speak for a minute. We ain't speaking. We ain't speak. Like that, us getting into it was the last time we spoke to each other. You feel me? That shit to take a toll on you. It's like, damn, this is someone that I really cared about, and I can't even like rectify the situation no more because they not here with us no more. I feel like that was a really important lesson. A mistake I made in like just kind of leaving shit open ended with a motherfucker I gave a fuck about. You feel me? So that's why I kind of like I always try to like make it known like how I'm coming in regards to people I care about. You feel me? Like I give a fuck about you on. You feel me? Like whatever petty shit we into it about right now, we gonna figure this shit out.
It's like, how do you just stop caring? How do you stop caring about somebody that you spent so much time with and you've put so much of your energy into, right? Because as much as you've shaped them, they probably shaped you in the same ways. So there's little parts of you that you carry about that person. What do you think is something you would tell them if you could tell them something?
It would be an apology at that point, but at the same time, not at the same time, nothing. It would just be an apology.
Do you think it all fell on you, the falling out?
Yeah,
Mm.
like if I'm being honest, that shit, yeah.
Do you feel like there's this guilt that weighs over you?
I ain't kill folks. Like it's not like that type of guilt. It's just more on some like, damn. I do wish my last interaction with this person was positive. It's more of that. It's not like I feel guilty with this, with that. I do feel bad that we left off how we left off, but it's just more so just like the way I guess it shows up in my life at this point is just me kind of being more mindful as to like how I approach situations with people I care about. You feel me?
That was literally gonna be my next question. How do you feel like it still impacts you to this day?
Like I said, I just be trying to be very mindful of how I interact with the people I care about. I slip up every now and then still. Like I know it's friends I have who I don't check in as often as I should. You feel me? Saying like little shit like that. Like I'd be trying to like check in with people. I'd be trying to like make sure like on a consistent basis I reach out, make sure motherfuckers good.
It's hard out here, bro. You can't check in on everybody. You can't be the person that saves everybody in a sense.
I don't even put that weight on my shoulders at this point. Like, but at the same time, I know if someone crossed my mind, if I'm thinking about like a homie or some shit, it ain't nothing to just text them or call them at this. You feel me? Like you just like yo, like what you been on? You just crossed my mind. I just want to check in, make sure you good. You feel me? Like little shit like that, and cause that shit go a long way. Like motherfuckers hit me with that shit all the time. Like. And I just that shit that shit is you never know what type of day a motherfucker having. That shit might make or break not make or break. That shit might make their whole day. Just like hearing from someone they didn't expect to hear from.
What's a moment that you needed that?
I'll say like my past birthday. Like I did a little birthday party, you feel me, with this, with that. Someone who I felt bad about not sending the invite to, they end up pulling up. And I ain't seen them in a minute. And I was like, damn, at this point I'm drunk as hell. I'm like, damn, it's actually really good to see you right now because I didn't think I was finna see you and I actually like should have invited you. You feel me?
Just once again, right? It goes back to the fact that you can't keep in touch with everybody. You can't be that person that carries the weight of that. And I say that, based on personal experience.
I feel like that's like an ongoing realization in like everybody's lives. Like you extend yourself to the capacity you have to extend yourself. And most of the time, the people that really know you and really fuck with you, they're not gonna take it personal because they got their own shit going on. But sometimes a motherfucker don't got nobody. You feel me? And someone like they was close to, they might take it personal, but it might affect them. It might really affect them. You feel me? So it be little shit I be trying to take into account, but at the same time, I also don't feel like I'm, like you said, I don't feel like all that shit is on me.
I had a conversation with my friend, right? We had a conversation about a month ago, and he's like, just because you don't hear from me, that don't mean that I don't talk about you. Or I don't think about you like every single day, and that's just on some homie shit, right? You think about your friends, you think about what it was like growing up with them, you think about the moments that help build you into who you are, but that doesn't mean you got to talk to the person every day.
In my brain, with my homies, like, especially like if they do something, you feel me? Like they do something and I'm in the space to like advocate for them. I'm always gonna advocate for my friends whenever I can. So I'm gonna advocate for my friends. I might even be, I might not have talked to them in a minute, but just because I know that they do something and I'm in a space to advocate for them, I'm gonna advocate for them. You feel me? So it's just like that. It just depends on the person because people be different. People be like fundamentally different as hell. Like motherfuckers, most people really don't feel a way about that kind of shit. But you might have a homie that do, and now they mad at you. But I also, when motherfuckers get mad at me about shit like that, I'd be like, damn, my bad. I'd be like, my bad.
Do you feel like it's hard for you to show empathy?
I feel like I'm a little bit too empathetic sometimes. Like it's certain situations I done been in where it's just like me being empathetic caused me to stay in that situation longer than I actually should have been stayed in that situation. Just because like I get where you coming from and I understand where you coming from, but we also like might be coming from two completely different perspectives, and you might not be wrong in your perspective. I might not be wrong in my perspective. It's just different. You feel me? That goes back to what I was saying about motherfuckers just being fundamentally different. When it comes to like empathy and shit like that, I can show someone empathy, but at the same time, say for example, if motherfuckers getting into it over some shit, I understand where they coming from, but at the same time, I disagree. We might just have to just disagree, and I might just have to remove myself because that shit just might not be some shit I can deal with or have the energy to be dealing with.
And even in another interview, you say, I learned to move at my own pace and be more accepting of my reality and circumstances. I live on a day-to-day mission to progress and be the most solid individual I can be.
Sounds about right.
What was the reality you were forced to face and accept?
Really just life, bro. I done been like very grounded in my reality for a minute, but like when I moved out for the first time, I'll just go like that simple. You move out for the first time, shit gonna hit you. You feel me? It's certain shit you just literally can't be doing no more because you gotta make sure you keeping your shit afloat. You feel me? Certain like, you feel me? Even like getting into like just growing up, it's certain shit that certain shit that doesn't happen in your life that leads you to just move a certain way. You feel me? That you might not really fully accept that that's like the reality of it. You feel me? Like the situation might have changed. Like certain situations might change your life that drastically, but you kind of have to accept it. You feel me? Like and just move accordingly. You feel me?
So talk about that a little bit because you even mentioned that your paranoia is rooted from the fact that you're from Chicago.
I done definitely been wrong place, wrong time, like this, or also just been kind of kicking in and then some shit pop off. You feel me? Like it's just certain like situations like you can kind of like see going left before you even enter that situation. You feel me? It's just like why am I volunteering to deal with this bullshit? You feel me? So it's just like that's also a reality you got to face. Like as much fun as you might think you might have going somewhere and doing some shit, you also out here you got to be mindful that motherfuckers die at parties. You feel me? Like so it just be shit like that. Like you just kind of got to move a certain way. Like you just got to like be aware at all times type shit.
Do you feel like that was a part of the reality that you had to accept?
For surely. It's just like, because when I was growing up, for the most part in my neighborhood, like, shit would get cracking for sure, but like, we all knew each other, we all cool, we can go outside, kick it outside, and until we couldn't, or until motherfuckers no longer just felt safe doing that shit no more, until shit started popping off for real, and then we getting older, so it's like, all right, now we really understanding the politics behind what's going on for real, you feel me? So we like, all right, now it's just like, all right, now it's just like, as much as motherfuckers would love to go back to just being kids and like careless and all that kind of shit, it's just like, nah, like we grown.
You understand that it wasn't just for no reason at that point.
That's something that like, if I grew up in a completely different kind of environment, I wouldn't even really have to think about so much, you feel me? You learn to give a fuck about seeing the next day.
How do you feel like that's impacted your demeanor and your relationship with others?
My granny got this saying, she said it to me all the time, just always lead with love, you feel me? So I be trying to like, whenever I meet somebody, whenever I'm with people, I be trying to like lead with love first. I don't know them. I don't know what they got going on. I don't got no reason to be on no fuck shit with nobody. You feel me? Motherfuckers ain't do nothing to me. You feel me? Like if feel me, I just met you. We kicking it. We having a conversation. It's like always just understand that if when you meeting somebody, you don't know them. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know nothing. So it's just better off to just like not be a dickhead.
The fact that that was taught to you early on, it really does show in the way that, you've come in and you approach this conversation. I appreciate you being so open and honest with everything. I want to touch on the fact that you said, you never know what anybody's going through. I think about that shit almost every day. I look outside and I'm like, damn, there's really a bunch of people just like driving around, people just walking around, and like they got their own shit going on.
It's a word for that. I think it's sonder. Like the realization that like everybody has like a life completely like complex and as deep as your own. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's also a realization like motherfuckers don't be making. Like you have to understand that everybody's life is just everybody going through something. You might not perceive it as fucked up as whatever you going through. You may not think it's the worst thing that somebody could be going through, but you never know what somebody's going through or how it is impacting them. Life hard enough as it is on a day-to-day, you feel me? Like everybody deal with something. So it don't even make no sense to even try to like further burden anybody else.
It doesn't help you.
You feel me? Like what does that do? What does that do? If I came in here on bullshit time, just hey, y'all don't woo this, woo that, whatever the fuck. Like what does that do for me besides make me look like a dickhead? What does that do for y'all besides piss y'all off?
It doesn't advance anybody. It doesn't make anybody's day better. At the end of the day, you're gonna go home and be like, damn, I probably just ruined a relationship. I burned the bridge.
Or just like, or you one of them motherfuckers who don't give a fuck, and now you just are like that, and now your reputation is just like this motherfucker is just.
That's just ignorant.
You feel me? You just like a dickhead.
Man, you're just a very like to yourself person. At least that's the vibe I've gotten from you from not only this conversation but other interviews I've watched. Right, your demeanor's very laid back. You're very close with certain people. Your tight knit group of friends, which is HL. Talk about them.
We done been kicking it since we was shorties. Like I met all the guys when I was like 16, 17, and we just been like these motherfuckers refer to HL like it's a group of motherfuckers that make music. It's a group of motherfuckers, all this cool shit. But at the end of the day, these are my brothers. You feel me? Like not by blood and no shit like that. But I'm gonna call them blood because at this point, these are my brothers. Like we done been through enough shit at this point for all of us to know how we come in regards to each other. You feel me? Like it's my family. Like my people's like my mama refer to like most of my friends is like they her kids. You feel me? Some of my other homies, like same shit with my other homies' mamas. You feel me? Like it's extended family. You feel me? So we just I am to myself only because I used to say this shit like I don't like people. That's not really what it is. I don't like picking up other people's issues. That's really what it is. Like I don't like motherfuckers putting hella weight on me with shit that don't got shit to do with me. And like when you have like a lot of like loose friends and shit like that, you got to deal with a lot of that, or deal with a lot of conflicting energies and all that kind of shit. And I'm just like, look, I'd rather kick it with people I know or just stay in the crib, or just like I'm always open to kicking it with new motherfuckers and shit like that to a certain extent. But like at the same time, like I do got like. Like trust issues a little bit because motherfuckers is real slime out here. You feel me? Like to put it simple, like, we motherfuckers got the whole like backdoor culture out here as well. You feel me? You got to really be mindful of like who you being around. Some shit might pop off just because you around somebody that's involved in some shit that don't got shit to do with you. But now because you with the motherfucker, you in it. You feel me? Like it's also like that kind of growing up in that kind of shit will make you kind of like just very mindful of who you allow yourself to like just be around.
When did you really pick up on that culture and the way it was impacting you?
Shit, when I was like a freshman in high school. Like, just cause like, also just like, yo, my peoples would say little shit growing up. They'd be like, like you know what the saying, like you go if they jump off a bridge, you gonna jump too. Same like fundamental value attached to it. Like you gotta. I was always kind of taught to be a leader, not a follower too. You feel me? Like I'm not the type of motherfucker that's like, look, I'm not no monkey see monkey do type of nigga. You feel me? So I like to kick it with other motherfuckers who are like who are similar in that nature. That's not just going like if my homie see me do some goofy shit, he finna Eric. If you see me do some goofy shit, you finna tell me I'm about to do some goofy shit. You feel me? Like he not finna just let me do some dumbass shit. You feel me? And I'm not, and also like it goes a little bit deeper than that. I'm not even finna get in the car with a motherfucker if I don't know what they got going on.
Man, someone told us some wild ass story like that.
Yeah, bro. Like you gotta be on your P about that shit because cause like you really will like catch a stray bullet because you're hanging out with somebody you do not have any business hanging out with. Or say for example, if you involved in some shit and you with your homie and they not involved in no shit, you doing your homie the service, not letting not if he don't know what the fuck going on, just having him ride with you, knowing that at any given moment some shit can go up. You feel me? Now if something happened to him because he with you, it's on you.
When did you differentiate the fact that you don't hate people, but you don't like inviting other people's problems into your life?
When I started having to deal with other people's problems.
But I mean, like you said, you used to say that you hated people. So was that always the reason, or did it take time for you to understand that that was the reason?
It took me time for sure because I don't hate people. I don't hate people. I might not be the most like social person. I might not be the most extroverted person. I don't hate people, but the reason I'm a little bit introverted into myself is because I don't want to have to take on more motherfuckers' problems type shit. Like if I lock in with somebody and we lock in just in nature and how I am, like if I'm rocking with you like to a certain extent, say for example someone come beat like just punch you in the mouth, I'm gonna punch them in the mouth. You feel me? That's just cause how I am. You feel me? It's some family dynamic shit. Like if someone walk up to my sister crazy, I'm on that. You feel me? Someone walk up to one of my homies crazy, I'm on that. You feel me?
So then for you, how has HL helped define who Sonny is?
We all really experienced adolescence together. You feel me? We have like fundamentally similar core values. You feel me? Like I learned from like them is like the importance of like brotherhood. Cause like I said, closest thing I had to a big brother, like for real, like he passed away when I was like 17. So I knew what it was like to like kind of have like a big brother like figure, but I've never had like a blood big brother type shit. So but like now I kind of feel like I got 10 of them. You feel me? Like it just really just shows like some shit I've learned from them is that like it do take a village to do a lot of shit. You feel me? Like we done like a lot of shit that happened for me in my life and my music career wouldn't have even been possible if I ain't meet like Kari, McCaffrey, Rael, you feel me, like Eric, you feel me, Evan, Easy, you feel me, like Nate, like rest of the guys, you feel me, like a lot of the shit that I've been able to do wouldn't even have been able to be a thing. They motherfuckers wasn't linking up in fucking my homie Drew basement all the time, doing a bunch of shit, going to Kari crib and shit like that, going to you feel me? All these different hubs we had, you feel me? Like, even my homie Chris, like, me and him made, like, when I first started making music, we'd be in the crib after school just tweaking, just, like, on the mic, just fucking around, making funny songs and shit like that because we was bored. And then he picked up production and, like, learned how to mix and shit like that. Like, you feel me? So I felt like, all right, we doing this there. Like, we just finna lock in. We finna just figure this shit out. And like seeing like motherfuckers just like made that commitment to just like grow and get better as a unit. You feel me? Because it's like we not finna just we was never in that mindset. We not finna be no bums our whole life. You feel me? That's not an option. So we finna like pick up some skills, get raw, take the shit wherever it go. My homie KT, he got a bar. He said, "Staying close to my brother, because at the top I want familiar faces." You feel me? Like I don't want to get to the top of this whole little shit and have to be making a bunch of new friends. I want to get to the top of this shit with the motherfuckers who was at the bottom with you.
So something that we haven't touched on is the fact that you went from hate Sonny to Sonny.
Yeah.
What initiated that change?
Quite frankly, I was just kind of getting annoyed with people calling me hate Sonny, and like when they met me, people still do that because it's my Instagram and shit. But like, it was also just a thing. Like I felt like I just felt like it was some growing up type shit. You feel me? Like I just felt like hate Sonny was just like. Even like that, it get fake deep. Come down to like how my name was Sonny type shit. Like that's a familiar nickname, and my whole family call me Sonny. When they see me, this, oh hey Sonny, what's up Sonny? What up Sonny? Hey, how you doing Sonny? That's my grandfather's name, like his birth name. I never met my grandfather on my mama's side. He passed away before I was born, R.I.P. But my mama put it in perspective to me one day, cause you know she shout out my mama too. She was just like, why is hate Sonny? Why ooh this? And I'm young as hell trying to like whatever the fuck it meant to me at that time. But then I'm just thinking about it one day. I'm like, you know what? You actually right. You know, like I don't want this really attached to my professional name or whatever for real on some like hey Sonny shit, because you know people call me Sonny. So it's just like it was just some shit where I was just like I'm kind of just I don't know, I was just kind of over it.
So you mentioned that it was kind of growing up. What did it take for you to get to that point?
At the time, like it was like I'm going viral. Like it's a lot of new eyes on me. Like let me do this shit now. Might as well. You feel me? Like while I can still like I guess make that shift. It's like let me just do this right now. Like as I'm getting all these new eyes, I want to let's just have these people just know me as Sonny.
You had it right with the hate Sonny and the SEO. You mentioned it in a different interview that when you look up Sonny, a bunch of shit's gonna pop up. When you look up hate Sonny,
You know what's still crazy?
huh?
You look up Hey Sonny, I still come up. It's one of those things to me where it's like I kind of like had to decide what I gave a fuck about. Like I'm on some like I'm gonna put my music out there. I spend a lot of time on my music. I trust that my music is good enough to like attract who's going to track. Motherfuckers look up Drake all the time. Drake come up. It's kind of that rationale behind it too. I don't really like if I get to the point, you know, God willing, where motherfuckers get to that kind of like level and me motherfuckers got to find me, they gonna find me. Yeah. You feel me? So I just kind of like gave more. I kind of care more about just my likeness in the sense of like what I would like to be called because your name is powerful. And I just didn't like people like introducing me to people as, yo, this is Hey Sonny.
It almost feels like there's a negative connotation right there with the hate in front of it.
You feel me? So I just was like, let me just get this shit out of here.
All right, man. Last question. Do you feel like your early success with Tumblr had anything to do with the fact that you started to retract yourself from the public eye in a sense?
When I started getting interactions on Tumblr and saw how freaky the motherfuckers on Tumblr were, I'm young as hell. I'm fucking 15, 16. That shit made me a little bit uncomfortable. As much as I felt like I was turned up because I'm having all the Tumblr hoes and shit like that, I'm also like, I'm peeping like these is grown motherfuckers on some weird kind of shit. I'm gonna just kind of just pull back. You feel me? This is a little freaky. I don't like this.
I mean, I ask you because it definitely, I feel like having that experience early on, especially with a place like fucking Tumblr where it wasn't monitored like that, would have some sort of effect on you.
Tumblr and the early Instagram, bro. Like that shit got weird real fast. Like I was just kind of like, okay, like I'm gonna just kind of like disappear for a second. And cause when I was like fucking 15, I had like 12,000 followers on Instagram just cause motherfuckers thought I was cute.
That's weird.
Ain't it? And then I just kind of like deleted my shit, started over.
You fucked up though. You should have monetized back then.
I was fucking 15.
I don't give a fuck what you were.
I was 15.
You saw
now,
Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Now they're the fucking
I wasn't thinking
biggest
about,
things.
I wasn't thinking about that shit. Didn't give a fuck about my follower count when I was 15. I still don't, but like, I was back then. I was thinking like this shit making me uncomfortable. I'm gonna just fall back from this shit.
I was just watching the documentary he has on Netflix, and they're talking about how they were getting like 5,000 a post off Vine.
I made one Vine because I was terrible to fuck over when Vine was a thing, but like, damn.
That's what I'm saying. You could have been making bread.
This social media shit's still a trip to me, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I be feeling like an old ass man, even though I'm younger than a lot of motherfuckers, bro.
Make sure you go ahead check out Sonny. Make sure you check out his song.
Saint Adios, both out now, 2-pack. Go get both of them. You feel me? Shout out Stevo, shout out Femdot, shout out Kosi, shout out Isaac, shout out my friend Nate, and shout out HL.
Make sure you go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Sad Boys for real. Peace out.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
Broken pieces, who's to blame?